to learn more. Once upon a time, there was a little boy called Tutuyan. He lived in Kaisampa, a provincial town in the Philippines, with his parents and 4 brothers. Tutuyan, the eldest brother, is blind, so he cannot see. When he was 2 years old, Tutuyan became very ill with a high fever, but his family did not have enough money to pay the doctor. The nearest doctor lived more than a day's travel away, so Tutuyan was not able to see a doctor. His mother cried, "Tutuyan, I am very, very sorry." "I will bring you herbal medicine to lower your fever," said his father. His father's medicine helped to reduce Tutuyan's temperature. After a few months, however, Tutuyan shouted, "It's too dark. I can't see anything. I'm scared. Help me." Tutuyan lost his eyesight that day. During the day, while his parents worked in the fields and his brother went to school, Tutuyan was left alone in the house. The other children laughed at Tutuyan. "You can't do anything by yourself." They made fun of him, and when Tutuyan got mad, they said, "If you are mad, why don't you try to come here without stumbling?" Tutuyan bravely stood up on his feet and walked toward the children, but they did not play with him, only bullying him and calling him names. When there was no school, his brothers played with him. But because Tutuyan was not able to see letters or pictures, it was hard for him to keep up. Tutuyan thought long and hard until he realized, "I always feel frustrated. I hate myself. I want to study and learn to do something. But what can I do?" One day, Tutuyan asked his mother, "I heard that there are a lot of books at the Magata library. Can we go there and you read books to me?" "Of course. I did not know that you wanted to read books. I would love to read to you. Let's go," his mother replied excitedly. Since then, Tutuyan and his mother went to the library every day. His mother read books to him and he listened very carefully. Sometimes going to the library took a lot of his mother's time, so she could not take Tutuyan to the library every day. When his mother was busy, his younger brother Butuyan read aloud to Tutuyan. Butuyan was very patient as he read many books over and over to Tutuyan. Surprisingly, Tutuyan remembered many of the stories that were read to him, and he was able to retell those stories to other people. "This is great," said Butuyan. "What else would you like to learn besides storytelling?" "I have always wanted to learn how to play the guitar," said Tutuyan. "Our father can play the guitar. Let's ask him to teach us," suggested Butuyan. The 2 boys asked their father, "Father, please teach us how to play the guitar." "Sure, I would be glad to," replied father. Since then, Tutuyan continued to tell stories he remembered from the books and practiced the guitar every day. One day, his mother asked, "Tutuyan, you were invited to play the guitar during Mass at the next festival. Do you want to play?" He replied, "Yes, I do." "You were also invited to perform at the singing contest." "Sure, you can count on me." Tutian performed very well at the festival, and his performances received high praises from everyone. Then, one day after the festivities were over, at the library, the children were waiting excitedly for Tutian. Tutian, will you tell us a story? They asked eagerly. Today, Tutian will perform a kamishibai theater, also known as paper drama, which is a form of Japanese street theater and storytelling that uses picture card to tell stories. Kamishibai is something that the children performed for Tutian many times before. But can Tutian perform the play for everyone now? Tutian began a long, long time ago. Meanwhile, Butian helped Tutian to tell the stories by sliding each picture card out one by one. Everyone watched with astonishment at Tutian's storytelling. An elderly man was impressed and said, I had a wonderful time listening to your stories. Thank you to this boy who was thought to be helpless, because he is blind. But now he is a great storyteller and a performer. One day, a person asked, what would you like to learn to do next? I would like to learn to read and write and teach at school, answered Tutian. He nodded and said, you can learn how to use Braille and other useful methods to help you to read and write. But how did you become so good at storytelling and playing the guitar? I am always very curious and motivated to learn and do something new, even when I am blind. Whenever I practice and learn something new, I put my heart into what I am doing and learning. I always try my very best. Born in 2003, Tutian is still telling stories and playing his guitar today. The end.